In this video, I am going to show you how to crochet these beautiful bunny baskets for upcoming Easter. So let's get started. Hey guys, welcome to DIYKraftZ. For this, I am using 4-ply cotton yarn along with a 3mm hook size. Now let's start by making a ear for the rabbit. So begin with a slip knot and then make chain 6. Now make chain 2, then skip 2 chains from the hook. Now yarn over and make first double crochet stitch into the 6th chain. Then make one more double stitch into the next stitch. Next, into the 2 stitches, make 1 half double crochet stitch each. So that's the first half double stitch, and then yarn over and make one more half double stitch in the next stitch. Now you will be left with 2 more chains. Make 1 single stitch into the first stitch and then into the last chain make a slip stitch. Make chain 1 and then trim the excess thread. Now we are going to make a knot with these 2 tail ends, and then using a tapestry needle weave in those tail ends and trim the excess threads. And likewise make one more ear using the same pattern. Now let's put these aside and start making the basket. And for this I am using a pink color yarn and the same hook. Begin with a magic ring. Now chain 1 and let's start making the first row. Make 8 single crochet into the center. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now once all the 8 stitches are done, close the magic ring and then let's start making the second row. Now put the needle into the first single stitch and make 2 single crochet stitches into the same stitch. Now mark the first stitch of this increase to mark the beginning of the second row. Now continue to make single crochet increases in each and every stitch throughout the row until you reach the starting point. Or you can even say you have to make a single crochet increase 8 times to complete this second row. And here I am making the last single crochet increase, and this completes the second row, and by the end of this row you will have 16 single crochet stitches. Now remove the stitch marker and let's start making the third row. Begin with 1 single crochet stitch and put the stitch marker into the first stitch to mark the beginning of the third row. So every time when we are going to start a new row, first make a stitch and put the stitch marker, so in that way you will not miss any stitch. Now into the next stitch make an increase and continue this pattern throughout the row. So 1 single crochet stitch and then 1 increase, and we are going to repeat this pattern throughout the row for 8 times. Now I am making the last set, that is the 8th repetition for this row. 1 single stitch and then 1 increase. And after completing the third row, you will have 24 single crochet stitches. Now remove the stitch marker and let's start making the fourth row. Begin with 1 single stitch, put the stitch marker back to mark the beginning of the fourth row. Now into the next stitch, make 1 single stitch. So you have 2 single crochet stitches, and now into the next stitch, make a single crochet increase, that is 2 single crochet stitches into the same stitch. Now for this row we are going to repeat this pattern 8 times. So 2 single crochet stitches and then an increase, and repeat this pattern throughout the row until you reach the starting stitch. Now I'm making the last increase of the 4th row. Once the 4th row is done, you will have 32 single crochet stitches, and this forms the base of the basket. Now for the next row, make one single stitch, put the stitch marker back, and then for this row, make one single crochet stitch in each and every stitch throughout the row. Here we are not making any kind of increases or decreases. It will just give the basket base a nice round shape. So once all the stitches are done, 5th row will also have 32 single crochet stitches. Now let's start making the 6th row. So remove the stitch marker, and here is where we have to adjust the pattern a little bit. So make a slip stitch into the next stitch. Now make chain 1 and ignore this chain 1 as a stitch. We'll just make a height chain, just nothing else. And now insert the needle into the back loop of the same stitch and make a single stitch, and then continue to make single crochet stitches into the back loops of the row. I'm putting a stitch marker to mark the beginning of the 6th row, and now from the next stitch onwards, insert the needle only into the back loops and then make a single stitch, and make one single stitch in each and every stitch throughout the row. So working in back loops leaves the front loops, which will give a nice texture to the basket. And once the row is completed, you can clearly differentiate the base and the side of the basket. And now once the row is completed, make one single crochet stitch over the first single stitch in the 6th row and put the stitch marker back. And from row 7 till row 12, make one single crochet stitch in each and every stitch throughout the row in each and every row. So from row 7 to row 12, each row will have 32 single stitches. And now after completing the 12th row, making the last single stitch, now for the 13th row we are going to add the ears. So remove the stitch marker, make one single stitch and put the stitch marker back to mark the beginning of 13th row. Now make single crochet stitches in next 3 stitches also, that's 2 and 3. And here is where I am going to attach the ear. So make one single stitch into that stitch. Now take the earpiece and insert the needle across the chain as shown in the video. Now drop a loop from the chain stitch to make a single stitch, and then continue to make single crochet stitches across the chain. So this one is 1, as we have 6 chains, we are going to make one single stitch in each chain. So that's 2. Now into the next chain, that's 3, then 4, 5 and 6. Now we are going to make 2 single crochet stitches across the chain 2. The height chain which we have made, across that chain 2 we have to make 2 single crochet stitches. Now make single crochet stitches across the stitches. We will have 6 stitches in total. Make one single stitch in each and every stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then 6. It will get a little difficult while making a single stitch over the slip stitch, but just make it happen. So once this ear is surrounded with single crochet stitches on all the 3 sides, make one single crochet stitch into the same stitch where the ear is been attached. So here the first ear is attached. This is how it looks like. Now make 3 single crochet stitches into the next 3 stitches. So that's first single stitch, 2 and 3. So these 3 stitches will give the spacing in between the ears. Now into the next stitch attach the second ear. So begin with 1 single stitch into the stitch, take the second ear and attach it just like the previous one. Insert the needle across the chain. If you wish to attach it on the back side, you can happily attach it without any doubt. Just that whatever look you wish to have, you can use that. So that's first single stitch across the chain, then into the next stitch, second single stitch. Now this is the third one, 4, 5 and 6. Now make 2 single crochet stitches across the chain 2. Then continue to make 6 single crochet stitches over the previous row stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then the last 6th single stitch over the slip stitch. 6. This completes attaching the second ear. Make 1 single crochet stitch into the same stitch where the ear is attached. So this is how the attaching ear looks like, and then continue to make 1 single crochet stitch in each and every stitch until you reach the starting point for row 13. Once you reach the end of this row, make the last single stitch, remove the stitch marker and then make a slip stitch. Chain 1 and trim the excess thread. Once the project is completed, with the help of a tapestry needle, weave in the tail ends across few stitches and then trim the excess thread. Also, do not forget to weave in the tail end at the magic ring as well. And before you weave in, make sure you make a knot to secure the magic ring, and then you can weave in the excess thread and trim off. And that's it. Your cute bunny ears basket is now ready. If you want, you can add eyes to it. Fill it up with some candies or Easter eggs and make it as a cool decoration on your desk. I hope you all enjoyed watching this tutorial. Do give this pattern a try and let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. See you all in the next video. Thank you for watching. Please like the video, share it and subscribe to DIYKraftZ.